Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Henry and Susan, and we are live again. It is Tuesday, 5 o'clock, just like clockwork. We are here. Welcome, everybody. We had a beautiful week. So far, so good. We are doing really well when it comes to the cleaning, and we want to talk a few things. We want to get into some of these phone calls that we have been getting. All of a sudden, it seems like there's a lot of people calling us for prices and trying to figure out our prices and trying to figure out several other things um, when it comes to how we run our business. So, how's everybody doing? Just want to make sure everybody is doing well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat itself, and we will see that and be able to respond that way. For those of you guys that are here, it doesn't look like we are getting audio. Let us know if there is audio being found. Um, if you guys can hear us, let us know and we'll see who comes up. I can hear y'all. Okay, so you can hear us. All right, perfect. Because for some reason, um, my mic showed that there was nothing going on. So, um, we want to talk about the winter. Winter's coming. Things are gonna, it's something that people get upset about. They get upset about me saying that it's gonna slow down. That winter is coming, but for some reason, people get upset about me talking about it slowing down. Well, you have to remember, we've been in this business for over 3 years, going on 4 years now. We look at trends, we look at everything that every month, we look at income, we look at what we've made, we look at what we spent, and every year seems to show a certain period of time where uh, people tend to slow down what they're calling. Um, there's other guys out here that are kind of saying different. So, I mean, hey, if it's busy for them, great, no problem. We have commercial accounts that we handle, and then we also have residential. We're busy this week, and people call us and set up an appointments, whether it's residential or whether it's commercial. So, we got commercial account coming up on Friday, and so we're going to be uh, doing some carports, getting those nice and cleaned. Um, but then we have residential that we do also. So, how was your day today?
Hot.
Hot.
Mm.
That's it.
I'm looking forward to the cold weather.
You're looking forward to the cold weather.
Yes, I want it to come. I'm tired of the heat.
Tired of the heat. Yes, it's still 90s out here in LA. So, Northern California, different story, right? Northern California, you got rain that's on its way. I think you guys are going to get hit hard this year, Northern California, with rain. Um, you got the El Nino effect coming on. So when El Nino's here, weather patterns tend to change, and so we are seeing that. We are seeing that those patterns start to hit. It's even staying hotter here than usual. Usually, it's starting to cool down, and it's still warm. Still out there, really really warm. So, as you guys probably seen our video today, we encountered wild animals while we were out getting ready to clean our first job today. And what do you think about that?
Bambi. It's not Bambi.
Bambi doesn't have big old horns on it.
It's Bambi.
That was not a Bambi.
Big Bambi.
That was a deer that was just sitting down, and we were walking towards it. Didn't really, and it was funny because Susan had seen it, and she commented that she thought it was a statue, and mentioned that it was a statue, right?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Oh, look at that statue!" And I go, "That ain't a statue." And as soon as I said that, that deer got up and he looked right at us like we were his next meal. And I was like,
no, it wasn't that bad.
It was bad.
It was a friendly friendly deer.
A friendly deer.
Yeah, it didn't look that ferocious at
with
all.
Big horns.
It didn't look very ferocious. It just was looking at us, and then it went on its way.
You called him Bambi. I called him Jerky.
No.
What?
No.
No?
No.
But anyways. So we, guys, if you have anything to say, go ahead and put it in chat. And we see you guys here. Maximiliano Ballesteros. Did I say that right? Maximiliano Ballesteros. I can hear you all. Awesome. Appreciate that. But yeah, so we had we were having a lot of phone calls. We're getting a lot of people calling us, getting prices. We had one person that called us today, and it was funny because as soon as we picked up the phone, his question was, "What's an array?" And I'm like, well, that's weird. A customer doesn't call us and say, "What's an array?" And he was like, yeah. He says, "What's an array?" And I was like, well, that's a group of panels that are grouped together, and they're in one little section, and you have one section, two sections, or three sections. That would be an array of panels. Well, how do you spell that? And that was another question that was kind of weird to me. And I asked him, I said, are you a solar panel cleaner? And he was like, no. I was just wondering what an array was. And he goes, how do you price your solar panels? And these are questions that we pick up on immediately. And we did a video on what you guys should be looking out for when people are trying to get prices from you. Mm-hmm. And so, what are some of the things that we look out for?
If it's a real address or not.
So how do we verify it's a real address?
We'll look on Google Earth.
That's it? That's all we do? We just look on Google Earth?
To see if it's real or not.
What are other ways that we can go and find out if it's a real address?
Well, you do it differently than I do. I would be a little more blunt.
Like what? No, show me, tell me, what would you do to try to...
I would ask them to show me the red sticker. Take a picture of the red sticker.
What's a red sticker?
On the side of their house. That's by the Edison meter that shows where their panels are on the top of the roof.
Okay, so...
And if they can't provide that for me, then ask them, well, what color's your house? What color's the roof of your house? There's little things that you can ask them that can describe their house. And if they can't give that to you, then, there's something a little fishy about it.
Yeah, so, we look at several things. We look at the area code that they're calling from. And, that's just not the only way to verify, because, there's people that move from out of state. They keep their same number and what have you. So, we know that. We expect that. But usually when they'll ask and they'll say, "Hey, what do you charge per panel?" Or and the first questions we like to ask is, "What city are you calling from?" And then when they come up and they say, Claremont," and I'm like, "Well, that was a little hesitant." So all these red flags start popping up, and it seems like there's a lot more people calling for prices now and trying to figure out prices. Um, and a lot of times we will sit there and we will ask these questions because we want to make sure it's a legitimate customer. We want to make sure that that customer um, is actually looking for solar panel cleaning. A lot of times we will get scammers that will call and they will sit there and ask.
Well, just like the one I showed you on Google Maps, that the address, the number was wrong because it didn't match
What number?
the address number.
Oh, the address.
It didn't match the number that was in front of the house.
So
it was the same street.
Explain the situation so they know what you're talking about.
Well, it was the same street. It just, the number on the house didn't match the number that the guy said on the phone. And there was no such number on that street.
No such house. Or no number, no house.
Mm-mm.
When they pulled that up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another red flag that popped up, is that, they give you an address, you search on Google, you search on other platforms, and the number doesn't come up, or the house doesn't come up, or it's an intersection, or there's just something wrong that that just doesn't seem like right. So if you get people calling you and it just doesn't seem right, don't hesitate to, call them back. That is one of the biggest things that we do, is we will call a customer if something doesn't seem right and they're just here just to get your price so they can undercut you and they can get you they can get that other customer a better deal. You got to be smart about it. And so what we do is we will, say, "Hey, can we call you right back?" And then we'll hang up and we'll call them back. And if it's a number that's been disconnected, no longer in service, wrong number, we know that that person wasn't a legit person. So we can care less if we don't hear back from them, because we know that that's not a legitimate number. That's not a legitimate person that's calling. And it seems like there's a lot more of those going around now, because there's a lot more solar companies that are coming in and they're not doing so good. They're not making money, or they're not getting the phone calls, or they're just something that they're trying to figure out. So they call the companies out there that have lots of reviews, lots of things going on, to where they are basically going out there and trying to compare prices and beat prices. So we are very careful about that. And there's a lot of guys now that they're desperate, so they're lowering their price. They're going out there for dirt cheap. And it was funny because the guy who called me today, he goes, "Well, I got a 2-story house. What do you charge for 2-story house?" And I just basically said, "Look, I said, do you want quality or do you want price? Because there's guys out here that are doing it for $80, and there's guys out here that are doing it for $600. So I gave them a really low price of $80, and I gave them a high price of $600. You'll never figure out my price unless we talk to you and we confirm that you're a real legit person that is looking for cleaning." I had a guy call me yesterday, and he asked me for a price. It sounded suspicious. So I asked him for his address. And the first thing he said was, "Well, I don't want to give you my address." "Well, I'm sorry, I can't do business with you." And I hung up. sometimes you could just let those people go, because at that point, if they're not willing to give you information that is going to help you give them an accurate price, then maybe something is wrong. You know, um, we're gonna get to your questions here. The two era, we see that you popped up on there. We're gonna get to these questions. So if you guys have questions, feel free to put it in chat. We will answer those questions, and we will answer your questions as we're coming along. We've been doing a lot of videos lately that have been really. I feel like they've been pretty good. You know, I've been noticing there's more people going and doing lives now. There's more people that are starting to jump on the live bandwagon. There's guys that are
Don't mind the cat in the background.
what cat?
The
My tail. There's guys out here that are giving out content now, and we do notice that, which is fine. I mean, we're not threatened by it, but at the same time, it's like when you're out there and we like to show that we're actually out there and doing the work, and we actually like to show that we're still in business, still doing our thing. And this is what I like. I like to do that. And then Susan's getting much, much better as far as filming and so forth. And we even had some glitches today that I caught, with our microphones and stuff, but we're just trying to perfect this business. We're trying to perfect this business after the third year, fourth year coming in. But it's always, if it's not one thing, it's another. And so, we always look for, things that are going to help us as a business. We have a lot of repeat customers. So we stay busy with our repeat customers. Susan gets on the phone and she will remind the customers that it's time for the cleaning. And I think she got like 10 customers in one day.
That was by text message only.
It doesn't matter what it was by. Mm-hmm. You contacted them. Mm-hmm. They called you back and they set up an appointment. So whether it was by phone, text message, email.
It's on the way I did it, because the reception was going to be a hit or miss. These text messages that were going through, and I was able to schedule people just from them responding back. And I got about maybe 11 of them.
About 11 people scheduled. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we scheduled them. And I think we were on our way to Vegas at that time.
And going to Vegas, there's a lot of spots that get bad reception. So I didn't want to be with them on the phone, and then I lose what they're saying because it's spotty. And so it's better just to text them.
Yeah. The two era, I've never seen you here before, but he asked a question: how is the business during the winter? How do you get more business during the winter time? I mean, you got to go out there. You got to hustle. You got to, go out there, put flyers, put stuff out there, call customers, call your old customers, get them, remind them, hey, it's time for your solar panel cleaning. This is why we educate people here on YouTube, is because a lot of customers will come onto YouTube and they will ask certain questions, and we answer those questions. And a really big question is, how often should you clean solar panels? If you look at my videos, you'll see that I have quite a few videos on how often you should be cleaning your solar panels. and customers kind of search for that. They look for that, and they get that information. And if they're up in my area, we do get phone calls. They will call us and set up an appointment. So there's many ways to advertise. A lot of you guys advertise on Instagram. I think that's one of the worst platforms to advertise on. And a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on this. But Instagram, there is so many of you guys out there. When I say you guys, there's so many solar panel cleaners out there competing for the same space. It's ridiculous. Every time I look at my Instagram feed, solar panel cleaning, solar panel cleaning, solar panel cleaning, solar panel cleaning from a lot of people that are advertising. And, you guys should be doing a lot more than just Instagram. You know, there's guys out here that are doing Facebook ads and putting them out there on Facebook so low, it's ridiculous. And there's Yelp, there's Nextdoor, there's other platforms that you guys could be advertising on to get more business. Google, doing Google ads.
So what's the bad thing about Nextdoor? That you have to pay when you click on it, right?
Well, there's platforms out there I don't touch. I don't like to use Nextdoor. I don't like to use Yelp because you're going to be paying lots of money. You will pay on the average around $500 to $700 a month for advertising. And a lot of people will advertise on Yelp and on Nextdoor, thinking that they're the only ones out there, but they're not. There are so many other solar panel cleaners out there. Let them compete. Let them do their thing over there. Let them put out their ads. No problem. That's what we don't do. We don't advertise. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. You will find our company on Yelp. You will find it on Nextdoor. You will find them on Instagram. You will find them on all the platforms. But we don't pay for ads because to us, it's a complete waste of time. It doesn't matter if you put an ad out there, somebody will text you, and all they have to do is click on your ad and text you and say, what do you charge? Now, we don't give prices out on Instagram. We don't give prices out on Facebook. We don't give any prices out unless we are talking to that customer, whether it's in person or whether it's us calling them back and verifying a few things. The Two Era says, do you think doorknob hangers are a good way to get leads?
Maybe.
You know what? There is some. Do me a favor. Can you get ours and can you get the other guys that we have? I'm going to show you something. And the reason why I laugh is because there's a right way to do advertising. Yeah, it's there somewhere. And there's a wrong way to do advertising. It has to be. What was on there? Look over here. It's got to be there. His door hanger was there. Okay. We got two door hangers here. Okay. This is ours. Okay. We don't put prices on any of our door hangers. We don't do that. We want the customer to give us a call. So you will never find prices on door hangers. Now, I'm going to hide this information, but But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you this guy right here. This is another door hanger. Okay. Check out this price. Look at that. $850 for bird proofing. Now, we had a customer we were doing bird proofing for, and we found this. Actually, they gave us the door hanger and said they thought it was us. And we said, no, that's not us. And what that does is that handcuffs you from ever going out there and charging the correct way. Okay. Now, we already know their price was $850. So, what would prevent us from going over there and saying, we'll do it for $800 for the same price? What would prevent anybody from doing that? You never put prices on door hangers or anything else, because each job is different. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I have told people over and over and over again is you are hanging yourself by going out there and putting prices out there. Now, let me ask you a question. If I, as a customer, went to we got this, okay? What would prevent me from calling somebody else to get a better price, knowing that you charge that price? And so, for us, that's a common mistake. And then they're wondering, why aren't I getting business? Because you have, and just here in LA, we got guys out here, 90 other guys out here trying to do bird proofing. So we got lots of competition. So when it comes to bird proofing and stuff like that, our best bet is to go to the customer's home and give them a price. That way we are knowing what we have, we look at it, we see it, we are talking one-on-one with the customer, and we can sit there and give them an honest price, a good price. And we can sit there and say, well, yeah, we can do it for this, and we can do it for that, and keep our guys working. And so for us, it's a bad mistake for other solar panel cleaners out there that are doing this. They think that they're going to get away with it by going out there and giving a really, really low price, or it's the bait and catch, right? You got to go out there and you say, oh, I could do it for, but then when it comes down to it, and you're going out there and you are giving information out there, and that information is right there, $850, somebody else's. And I go, all for only, and he's advertising this. So a customer is going to sit there and they're going to tell you, hey, wait a minute, I got 50 panels and you need to do this for $850 because this is what you're advertising. What makes you think that they can't sue you for misinformation? Stuff that you're advertising out there and you're leaving on customers' doors, and sit there and say, we can do all this for, and guess what? If you don't do it, if you turn around and say, well, it's no longer $850 for solar panel cleaning because I didn't realize that you had 60 panels, this was only for, and it doesn't really tell you, or they doesn't say anything on the brochure or anything else like that to where, up to, or only They don't have those words on there. So it's very difficult to go out there and um, you know try to give a price out that you don't know what you're running into. You could be running into 20 pigeons that are nesting underneath those panels, so bad, so dirty, and it's a lot more work than you think it is, and then you're going to charge $850. I'll guarantee you, I will go out there and I would take a look at it, and if I can do it for $800, I would do it for $800, no problem, knowing that this guy left this out there for $850 or $825. You know, anybody will go out there that's your competition and will beat that price or beat your price if you advertise it. And the reason why we don't put prices on there is we want that customer to call us for prices. That's the interaction that we have to get. Because why would I interact with you when I already know the price? Why would I even call you? You already left it on my door. I already know the price. Now I'm going to go shop around and see if I can get a much better price. So those are just some of the things that we endure over here in LA. And we have a lot of guys that are going out there and they're pricing extremely low. Now come the wintertime, good luck. That's all I have to say is good luck. Those guys will not last. They will not last throughout the whole winter. You better be able to go out there and do pressure washing. You better be able to go out there and do window cleaning, gutter cleaning, any other service other than solar panel cleaning. Because I tell you what, solar panel cleaning is not going to be in demand when it's raining or when it's cold and ready to pour rain. It's not. Gutter cleaning, maybe. Somebody wants to get their gutters cleaned right away before it starts to pour and rain. Okay, I can see that. And, one of the guys here on YouTube had mentioned, and I'm not going to say any names, but he had mentioned, do we as a company, and I don't know if they're even going to talk about this, should we be offering one service or should we be offering, all kinds of services and be a handyman, and I honestly, you guys run your business the way you want to run it. But I can tell you right now, the way I'm running my business, I have very few services. I have bird proofing, window cleaning outside only. That's all I do. I don't do inside window cleaning. I leave that to somebody else. And solar panel cleaning. That's my business. And guess what? We stay afloat through winter, through summer, all year around because we do things different than everybody else out there does. Ask me why we get so many commercial accounts. And I'm going to tell you, that's my little secret. That I'm not willing to share. Is how we get so many commercial accounts. We get a lot of commercial accounts calling us. Big accounts. And we do contracts. We go out there and we will not only clean their panels one time. We won't do their windows one time, their security systems, all that. We don't do that just one time. We do contracts. And we build relationships with our people that hire us. One of the things that we are very proud of is we are getting more and more commercial accounts. And it took us over 3 years. So if you think that you're just going to get into this business and say, oh, I'm going to go after solar farms, I'm going to go after carports. I'm going to go after rooftops. Well, you're sadly mistaken, because there's guys out here that are portraying themselves as, they got big corporate accounts, but they only have one. And we see them only at the one job, and that's what they do. Nothing wrong with that. But we speak the truth here. We tell you that this is how this business is. If you guys think that you can survive on this business by giving out prices that are really cheap, you're sadly mistaken. It costs a lot of money to run this business. A lot of money. I'll give you good examples. We are vendors of big corporations. Some of these big corporations don't pay us for 90 days. Some of them don't pay us.
Days.
Some of them don't pay us for 30 days. Some of them won't pay us for 60 days. So when it comes to renting boom lifts, vehicles, all that comes up front for us. We pay that money up front. That's what we do. And then 60 days later, 90 days later, we get a check, a nice big check. We're happy about the checks that we get, but it takes us 90 days to do it. We're negotiating with another company right now, and we know that we have to pay a lot of money up front just to do the job. Well, that money comes out of our pockets, and that money we got to use. We got to use that for boom lift rentals. We got to use that for renting trucks to pull the boom lift, or scissor lift, or whatever you guys want to use out there. Now, think about it. Companies don't care. They just want you to clean the panels, and they could be a Fortune 500 company paying 500 employees, and they don't care about your 2 or 3 or 4 employees or what your situation is. All they want to know is, can you clean them? Can you do it? And can you do it in a timely manner? So, a lot of these guys, they go after these big corporations, and they're like, "Oh, I got this big job." But then when they find out, oh, guess what? We're not going to give you money up front.
Don't think that a company is going to give you 30% up front, because they might not, because that's not how they do their process.
We may ask for 30%. We may ask for 50% up front. But does it mean that we're going to get it? They may say, well, that's not how we work. We pay after the job is done. And it's like, what do you do then? Do you pass it up, give it to somebody else, and let them do it? Or do you try to figure out the best way of getting it done and what have you? We just negotiated and won a contract. And you should have seen the hoops that we had to go through just to get approved. Just to get approved. I mean, our auto insurance, our general liability insurance, workman's comp, W-9s, how many employees are going to be on the property, just so many questions. And you're sitting there going, wow, is this really worth it to do this after everything is said and done? Well, we negotiated, and we said, we're not going to clean this one time. We got to clean this 3 times a year in order for us to be, to make something out of this. And they finally agreed to it. But we put in estimates. They accepted the estimate. We turned them in some invoices, and they said, no, give us the invoice first.
Estimate first.
No. I'm just talking about afterwards. We sent them an estimate first, and then they looked at that. They called us back and they asked us to go onto a certain site. We had to register everything. We had to show proof of insurance. We had to do all that. So we did all that, and then after they approved, the third party approved that, we were out there giving them invoices, and so there's a lot of stuff that has to be done.
You have to make sure you're aggressive when you want to make sure all the paperwork is, everybody has the right paperwork, because there's so many people involved.
That's another thing too.
Accounting and other people in the business that collect the paperwork. So you got to make sure you're on top of who you need to call to make sure, did you receive this?
Did accounts receivable receive it? Did you send an invoice to accounts receivable? Did you did they respond back to you? Did they do this? Did they do that? And you're like, yes, yes, yes. Oh, okay. Well, let me check back with you. And then they never check back with you. And you have to be, you have to sit there.
Persistent.
That's the correct word, persistent, in order to get your money on some of these big corporations, because they deal with so many people.
You're not the only vendor, so they have other vendors out there that they're dealing with. So you may be in the middle of the pile that they're working on, and they're busy with somebody else's stuff. So
right,
you gotta make sure you're on top of.
There's procedures that they do, right? And you can go out there and give them the best price. That's not a problem. You go out there and say, hey, look, I'm going to do it for this. And they accept it and they say, yeah, perfect. That's just the beginning of that ball rolling downhill.
It probably takes us about a month.
On some.
Sometimes it takes longer.
So when I say that, there's guys that call me and saying, hey, I saw your videos. I like your videos. And I'm going after a 15 megawatt farm. And I'm like, how long have you been in the business? Oh, I don't even have my equipment yet. You don't have your equipment, but yet you're going after a 15 megawatt farm. And how do you expect to do this? And how long does you expect to get all that done? So, we try to put them in their place, in perspective, and saying this business is a business that either you're going to be spending very little money and not making money, or you're going to be spending a lot of money and trying to survive. Okay, this is a new industry, a very, very new industry. And when I got into this industry over 3 years ago, there was hundreds of solar panel installation companies, people installing solar, but very few people doing the cleanings. And so it really took off for us. It took off. I mean, Rick and I, when we started out, we were busy. Before we even got our van wrapped, we had calls. People were calling us, setting things up. It was great. It was awesome. But we had no competition. And now we have hundreds of people in this area that are doing solar panel cleans. And I'm seeing this up north. Now there are so many people calling me up for up north. It's ridiculous. If you live in Bakersfield, Tulare, Stockton, Gilroy, you live in those areas, you got competition. You have more people coming in because they're calling and they're sitting there and going, hey, what do you guys charge over here? And I said, what we charge in Southern California, guys in Northern California are charging a lot less. But then going on to that statement, now I'm finding out, We got guys in Southern California that are charging a lot less now than what we did. I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. Now, I mean, I, in Northern California, there's a lot of farmers. Okay, it's a farming community. Most of those areas are farming. I grew up in the Central Valley. I grew up in Central California. Okay, so I lived on a farm for all my life, most of my life, and I know the farming community, and I know what it was back then and what it is now. And there's so much people now that are getting into the business, and they're thinking that, oh, if I charge under $1 to go clean panels, I'm going to go and I'm going to make some money, or 50 cents on the dollar. And you're sitting here going, well, you just bought new equipment, you just bought new vans, you just bought new ladders, you bought new skids, you bought a lot of stuff brand new. And then it's going to come a time where you buy all this new equipment that you have to pay for that. And I can tell you, all of our stuff is paid for. There's not one thing that I owe money on in this business. Not one thing. Everything is paid for. And I'm glad we took care of that early on. We didn't go above our means. We didn't go out there and buy a second van. We didn't go out there and buy all this other equipment because we were smart about it. And we sat there and we go, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this. How is this going to make us money? We got guys that are bringing us robots right now just to try, just to go out there and sample. And we're sitting here going, well, is this going to be economical for us when summer's over and we're going to go out there and we're going to have to hustle like we have been doing. We don't just sit on our butt, guys. We go out there and we make things happen. I mean, whether it's Susan or myself, we're out there looking for work and getting work. But we know we got a lot of competition. But we know we're not going to go out there and be the cheapest price either. We're not going to do that. We're beyond that because we know we can make money up here instead of make money down here. Certain people are going to go and lower their price so low that they're going to screw themselves down the road. We see it already. When we talk prices and we talk what other people are doing, and we know what their prices are because customers do talk. Customers will tell you what price quote they got. And we said, if you can prove that quote was given to you, I will honor it. And if they show you a piece of paper with their letterhead on it and saying, here's our estimate, then we honor it. But that's the only way. We're not going to do that just by somebody saying, oh, well, this guy charges, $300 less than you guys do. Well, you might want to go with that guy because I can't beat that price. It's always good to say no. Always good to say no.
One time we had a customer tell us that somebody that went to clean their panels portrayed themselves saying that they worked for us and they didn't. And so that customer, they took our customer, but when I rebooked that same customer, he showed me the invoice and everything and who it came from. And I told him, don't ever call him again. Don't ever have him clean your panels for
There's
you.
other companies out there that represent themselves as us, as SoCal Solar Panel Cleaning Company. and they've taken some of our customers because of that. But like with what Susan was saying, is they told us, they showed us the invoice. We knew who that person was. So they stole our customer, and
The customer was shocked because he thought that
he thought that it was us.
he thought that he worked with us, and I told him no, I have no idea who that is. He showed me. I had him send it. I asked him to send me the invoice, and he sent me the invoice, and I saw and I read it, and I asked Henry who it was, and Henry knew who it was, and so the customer said, "Well, I'm not going to call that guy again." I said, "No, because he's just scamming people on trying to take their customers away."
There's guys out here right now. If you Google, we Googled solar panel cleaners near us, and there's guys out here that just starting their company, SoCal Solar, SoCal something. So it's something that's so similar to
SoCal Solar
us.
Cleaning, I think is
So
what
SoCal Solar Cleaning, that's
with,
another company that's out there
without the panel.
without the panel. And you know what? Hey, more power to you. But the fact of the matter is, we did this legit. Everything that we have is through the government. We have our LLC. All that was checked. And just so you guys know, um, if that particular name is taken, you cannot get a business license for it. They won't allow that. And then if you try to incorporate with that name and it's similar, you'll probably get rejected. So it's okay, because we've had people call us and say, are you guys in San Diego? I was like, no, we're not in San Diego. And I go, oh, well, there's another company and they owe lots of money. I go, well, that's not us. That's that guy. Go after him. We have a different EIN number. We have different federal tax ID numbers. We have different everything. So our banks, they, they see us and they go, okay, no problem. But there are guys out there that are advertising on Google right now. And there's a little thing that you can do is on Google that if a name sounds familiar to you and your business, you can file a complaint with Google, and Google may take them off. Who knows? But you can do that. So if somebody has a name close to you and you can prove that, you show them your EIN number, you show, and they do the research. Believe me, they go out there and they check. They check the state, they check the government websites, they check your bank accounts, they check all that. And you send all that in, and if you're able to prove that, and then they'll do the exact same thing with the other person. If they don't respond, guess what? They're no longer on Google. And once you get kicked off of Google, that's it. You're done. There's a lot of copycats out there. There's a lot of guys out here trying to portray it. Look, we have well over 100 5-star reviews. We worked that, and it took us 3 years to do that. Google knows if you get so many reviews fairly quickly, that sets off a red flag. So there's a lot of people out there that try to get the fake reviews, and they get kicked off. They're gone because Google will catch them. Carolyn says, "Is there another SoCal out there used to be in your Zoom meetings?" Yeah, I mean, look, Carolyn, somebody could join a Zoom meeting and type in their name as SoCal Solar Panel Cleaning. They don't care. There's guys on Google, on YouTube, that could put down SoCal Solar Panel Cleaning, and you see them up there and they pop up. We had a guy.
That same person was on Mark's podcast too.
Well, and we did a little investigation on it too, and where he said he was and what he did, he didn't exist. He was nowhere to be found, and it's very easy. If somebody says SoCal Solar Panel Cleaning in Arizona, type in, Google it, SoCal Solar Panel in Google. Check them on maps. See where they come up. If they do come up, check to see if they have a website and see if they do come up. And most of the time, they don't. So you have nothing to worry about. They're just out there fishing. They're out there, doing their thing, and that's it. Paint and panels, pro cleaning. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for being a super duper fan, Tara Lynn. Hey guys, just finished the day. Sorry I missed your live. No, you didn't miss your live. You're still on it.
Carolyn, you're gonna love the weather next week in Vegas. It's gonna be really cool.
What do you mean cool?
Cooler in like the 70s.
Oh, I thought you meant like
No, in Vegas.
Like really cool.
No, in Vegas. That's like nice weather for Carolyn.
The weather girl here, she is fanatic about the weather. Mm-hmm. She already knows what the weather is for next week, and I'm sitting there going, okay.
It's gonna be nice and cool.
Top G. What's up, guys? Are we focusing on getting commercial accounts from now on? Too many people out here offering the tweaker special for residential. Top G, I wish I knew what you meant by that, but I don't know where you're located.
He's in Northern California.
He's in Northern California. Tulare. Where's he at?
He's in Northern
Gilroy, Sacramento. One dude out here is NorCal Clean, 50 panels for $100. No self-respect. What the? So you got guys out here doing it for 50 cents on the dollar, exactly like I said. Top G just confirmed it in Northern California. And, but those guys, Top G, they won't last. They will not last. Because when the phones stop ringing, and they will, for solar panel cleaning, I'm sorry to say, people, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to be honest with you. I see it every winter. When that rain comes, tell me I'm right. When you join me on Tuesday nights and you got no work because it's raining and people want to reschedule or people want to go out there and say, no, the rain's going to clean my panels for me. Because that's what you got to prepare yourself for. Got to prepare yourself for that. We're doing more videos now on winter. Why you should be cleaning your solar panels for winter. All you guys out there should start targeting the exact same thing. Don't make this just a summer cleaning thing. Make it a summer, winter, all year round thing. And when people start to get educated.
And fall.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Not just winter, fall.
Well, you're coming into the winter.
The weather is getting cooler. People don't clean their panels clean when it's cold and cloudy.
I don't care what you say, Susan. It's winter. Winter is coming.
Yes.
Let me
fall right now.
We are on YouTube right now. And I'm going to prove something really quick. Are you ready? You ready for me to prove something to you?
We're in fall right now.
No, I'm sorry. Winter is the mindset.
Yeah. Winter is coming, but we're in fall right now.
So let me ask you a question. When you go to the stores, what are they putting up right now?
Fall stuff and winter and soon to be spring.
No, they're putting Christmas stuff up right now.
And they have fall stuff right now.
I saw Santa the other day.
They have fall stuff right now.
I saw Santa and his reindeer at the store, and I'm like 50% off. And I'm like, wow, we haven't even hit or Halloween yet. And Santa is up there with his reindeer.
Yeah, because winter is on its way. We're not in winter yet. We are in fall.
I'm sorry, people. I'm going to tell you right now, be prepared for it. It's going to happen. Whether you like it or not. We're hoping that it stays hot. I'm loving the fact that it's still 85, 90 degrees out here. I'm loving that. But there's going to come to a point where it starts to cool down, and that's where people are not educated, and they don't realize that they can be out there producing big productions even during the winter time. All solar cleaning services, you get what you pay for. Carolyn, winter is coming, like the Game of Thrones. That's the shirt you should have been wearing today.
Game of Thrones, good.
Yes.
If you've seen the series, it's a great series.
Couldn't tell you. Not my thing. David 24/7 gives you a thumbs up. Sorry that I didn't catch that. The 2 era, this is insane. Yeah, I mean, it I try to be, we try to, we don't want to scare people. That's not what we're here for. We just want to give them good advice.
If you have a side gig that you want to do when it's raining and you're not cleaning panels, by all means, go for it.
Clean gutters,
or do something else.
or do something else that's going to get you by. I'll, you know, I'd be the first to sit there and tell you, I don't clean gutters. It's not my thing. I'm sorry. I will not clean gutters. SoCal solar panel cleaning, will not clean gutters. If somebody turn around and ask me to clean gutters, I'll refer them to somebody else. I got bigger and better things to do. And I hate to say that because there's people out there making a killing cleaning gutters, which is fine. More power to you. Have fun. Do it. It's the same thing with me putting up Christmas lights. I don't put up Christmas lights. That's not my thing. And we talked about this earlier. We talked about, somebody else going to do a podcast, or he's doing a live just like we are. And, he asked that question on one of his videos, is it better to be all over the place, or is it better to be just, concentrating on 1 or 2 services? And you'll get a lot of people that will turn around and have different opinions. There's nothing wrong with that. If it works for your company, go for it.
If it puts food on the table, by all means do it.
And I don't think I look like I'm starving, because you tell me all the time, quit eating. Don't eat after this time. Well, I'm starving. There's money on the ground and I'm going to pick it up. If there's $1 on the ground, I'm picking it up. Remember that. Because we're not saying we're going to be turning away work. We may give it to somebody else, or we may say, this person, you take that, and that's your thing. I mean, there's guys out here that do soft wash. That's not my thing. I don't have the equipment for that, nor will I ever touch it. Pressure washing. I won't touch pressure washing. That's not my expertise. My expertise is solar panel cleaning, and that's pretty much it. Window cleaning, I do window cleaning for commercial because I have the equipment to do it. And some people will sit there and they say, oh, you do window cleaning wrong. Well, tell that to my customer, because my customer calls us every 3 months to go out there and re-clean their windows and their big corporate accounts. Tell them I'm doing it wrong. I can guarantee you, after we get done every single time that we clean windows, man, they are happy. But we'll get people out there that will say, you're not using the right equipment. You're not should be doing this. You got water going inside the doors, all that. We make sure we don't do that. And we're good at what we do. And we're going to continue doing it because it keeps making us money. And if you can go out there and do commercial accounts, and those commercial accounts, see, what people don't understand is you got to go out there and get your feet wet. Get your feet wet by doing residential. Go clean residential until you have the right equipment. Don't go over there and try to do mega farms or solar rooftops, carports. Carports is one of the hardest things to clean. If you don't have the right equipment, you'll quit because it is very hard to clean carports. It's one of the hardest things to do. And you got to know how to price it, and you got to know how to make money off of it. And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. They lose money because they're not pricing it out and they're not using the right equipment. I've seen guys out here use equipment I won't even touch. And there's reasons for that. But if it works for them, so be it. No problem. Let them deal with that. We deal with this, and we do it our way, and we do it a certain way, and so forth. And we always get called back. That's the beauty. Is you get that slap in the back and saying, "Great job, guys. I'm going to refer you to this person who's got 15 stores, and I need you guys to handle that." Okay, no problem. And this is how we're able to get out there and grow. All solar cleaning services. What about what visitor you had today? Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier, Juan. We had
Big Bambi.
a reindeer that almost killed me today. I think I died twice today. The heat killed me, and the reindeer that when we came around the corner was ready to attack.
No, he wasn't.
He was in the prone position with his horns down. I looked at him. He looked at me. And I got the hell out of there.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was just sitting there looking at us and got up and walked away.
Well, that's what the video portrays. That's not what actually happened.
That's what actually happened.
What actually happened was I edited to where it made Bambi look pretty.
No, it wasn't that bad.
But I didn't put in the part where I ran up on the roof so fast that I left my shoes down at the bottom.
No, not true.
Not true.
No.
So you're saying that it's not true that
you did not run up the roof.
That I didn't die today.
No.
Or almost died today.
No, it was a very sweet deer.
Yeah.
That was just looking. Didn't do anything wrong.
He looked hungry.
No, he looked
and I looked like I was his next meal. That's all I have to say.
He looked pretty happy.
That's all I have to say about that. Paint and Panels Pro Cleaning. Thank you for being a super duper fan. We really appreciate you there, Paint and Panels Pro Cleaning. You've been a super duper fan for such a long time. We appreciate you. And we're shouting you out. I have not paid an electricity bill except for the California mandated $9.87 monthly for 2023. This is because I keep my solar panels clean year around. Yes, absolutely. And this is what people have to understand. If they want the best out of their solar panels, clean them all year around. We did the ladies today, cleaned her solar panels. We showed her the before, the after, and she was amazed by the difference. And we sat there and talked to her and explained to her how often she should have her solar panels cleaned. And a lot of this has to do with than people not knowing um, when the panels should be cleaned, solar panels should be cleaned, what's going to happen when you clean the panels. And I always spin it around, guys. I always like to tell people this is what's going to happen if you don't get them clean. And when you tell somebody like that, it throws them off because they sit there and they're say, well, the rain's going to clean it. The rain's going to winter time and what have you. And we're expecting a lot more rain in Northern California this year. You got El Nino coming, and you're going to have rain. We're going to have wind up here in Southern California. We're going to have, who knows? We have a lot of, you know, weeds and grass, dry grass now. Hell, one fire will do it. Santa Anas are coming in. We're going to get really high winds in certain areas here in in Southern California. We get winds every single night, 60 miles an hour plus. That's going to start happening at the end of October and November if it hasn't started already in Riverside County. And, you know, people who went out there put the cheap bird mesh on, if they haven't experienced the winds yet, they haven't experienced, you know, all this stuff flying off their roof because it wasn't attached properly. Then they'll call other people and be pissed off because they paid such a cheap price that they really didn't get the quality that they deserve. So, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but wow, we've been on for an hour and 11 minutes already. So tomorrow we have another bird proofing to do tomorrow. Get that taken care of. Carport's coming up. I'm going to try to do some videos, guys, of the carports and us out there and us, you know, talking out there while we're out there. I always feel that it's always good to let you guys know that, hey, we're still out here working. We're still out here doing our thing. Even though we got our workers that are doing it, hey, we still go out there. We still look for work. We're still out there grinding the pavement, passing out flyers, doing what we need to do. Susan's on the phone calling old customers, and you will be surprised. Even if you did do that, called customers, they may say, "Hey, where you been? Couldn't what happened?" I mean, also, what was it? All Solar Cleaning Services from Orlando, Florida, called me the other day and said, "Hey, guess what? The first person that I called back, I scheduled." I said, "That's awesome. That's what you need to do. Sometimes you need to go out there and don't let the work come to you. You got to go after it." I want every single one of you solar panel cleaners out there to do a Google search. Google Maps. Go to Google Maps, and I want you guys to type in solar panel cleaners near me. I want you to see the competition that you have now than when you first started. Now, the people that are out here to try to get into this business do the exact same thing. And if you can compete with 100 people, 100 different businesses, or 10 businesses, or say you only have one person, then you know what this industry is looking like. And you may be surprised because, like I said, we get people from Northern California calling us, asking us for advice. We get people from Southern California, Arizona, Florida, Texas, even out of the country. And for us, it's all good. This is what we teach. This is why we're on. My silent partner over here, well, sometimes she may you may get lucky sometimes. You may get lucky and hear something that comes out of her mouth. Like she goes and she gets all these hearts and all these little flowers
Emojis.
and emojis. That makes her day, people.
Mhm.
Just so you know. If you're listening, all these emojis that fly up and all that, that makes her day. Not me. Not this guy. She's like, how many emojis did I get? Who cares? It's no different than the deer that attacked me today.
Did not attack you.
That deer almost tore my ass up. You ever see an old man run up a ladder so fast? I wish I would have put that on video. Because that right there, wow. I would have had thousands of hits. What are you doing? The Panel Man, LLC. Henry, what's happening, the Panel Man? What is going on? How are you today? All Solar Cleaning Services. Talk about the importance of YouTube. Well, it's the importance of anything, All Solar. Look, people advertise all over the place. It's where you're comfortable advertising. If you're comfortable advertising on Instagram, if you're comfortable advertising on Facebook, Nextdoor, Yelp, Google Ads, it depends on you. There's people that spend thousands of dollars on advertising. There's people that spend zero on advertising. So it just depends how you want to go out there and advertise. The Panel Man LLC says, good, we spoke earlier. Awesome. All right, appreciate it. So, for us, we advertise everywhere, and we have a lot of things that we do. We have our house call Pro, the Super Pro, that we are affiliates with, and that's one of the software programs that we use to book our customers, get great reviews. And Susan put out some videos this week on those, on how to use that. And the people that actually have it, they're using it, and you're going to see a difference. There's people out there that they wish that they can say, okay, I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to do that. Look, I started out with a pen and a little notebook or a little tablet, and we wrote down the customer's name and what have you. Did we have to do that? No, I just didn't. I just didn't have the software. We were new, almost 4 years ago. We were new, and we didn't want to go out there and spend money. But when I finally when I started finally doing it, I realized that I was out of touch, and I jumped on House Call Pro, and I won't get off that software program, because it works great for Susan. She books immediately as soon as when that customer is on the phone and say, hey, I need some bird proofing done. She's already getting the address. She's putting all that in, and before the customer even gets off the phone, the customer already has an alert saying that you've been booked. You've been booked. Am I lying? Am I telling the truth here?
No, I'm quick.
Well, tell them you're quick.
I'm quick when I get information. I don't mess around.
She doesn't mess around.
I try not to keep them on the phone too long, because I can hear in the background there's a lot of stuff going on. So I try to or if I feel that they're busy, I say, you know what, just send me all your information and I will put it in the system, and then they'll be booked.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with having people text you the information. if they're, they don't have time to give it to you over the phone, or, I'm very laid back when it comes to people on the phone, and I hear stuff going on in the background, or, babies crying, kids are running around, I don't want to keep them on the phone very long.
Top G Solar Cleaning says, I might start making videos on YouTube or Rumble, even though I want to stay low key, but it seems social media is a must now.
Social media is a big, big thing, because that's how this world has come to. It's all about social media.
When I started with Amazon in 2016, I had 23,000 subscribers because it was an Amazon platform. Everybody wanted to learn about Amazon, how to sell on Amazon. So I was selling courses at $900 a course, and I made a killing off of it. A killing. You're talking several $100,000 just in my course. And we gave out great information and what have you. And then all of a sudden, all these people come in and they're Amazon experts, and they got a course for $2,000, $4,000, $10,000, and then that killed it. That killed it. So you got guys in your area, Top G, in Northern California, that are starting to do podcasts now with other guys, and they're copying a lot of stuff, and whether it works for them or not, hey, that's no problem. You know what? I applaud the hustle. I really do. But it took me almost 4 years to get where I'm at today with the solar panel cleaning industry. And I know people all over the world. I can say that. I can. In the UK, in Australia, Puerto Rico, Florida, Canada, you name it, Mexico, everywhere. They call me all the time, and we talk, or we're on LinkedIn. We go out there and communicate with each other, and what have you. So the industry is still young, but there's a lot of people killing it right now, and not in a good way. When I say killing it, that means they are killing this industry. And you will see that. I don't have to tell you that. You probably see that already. A lot of you guys out here that follow me, watch me, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people killing this industry right now. If they're not, they're trying to make that fast dollar. They're trying to go out there and
don't make deals right away when you're looking for accounts. It takes time to get the account. So don't just expect them to give you stuff up front right away.
There's certain ways and certain things that commercial accounts do, and they do it a certain way.
They have a process.
They have a process that they go through. And if you cannot fulfill that process, they're going to go get somebody else. If you cannot provide the documents that they're looking for, then go somewhere else. And like I said, you got to go out here and start cleaning residential. Do cleanings on residential. Okay? We all know bird proofing is a high ticket. But there's a lot of guys out here that do shit work. They do work that is horrible. And they call companies like us to go out there and clean up. Clean up the mess. And I'll be more than happy to rip the old stuff out, put the new stuff in, and charge them thousands of dollars doing it. Because we know we're going to go out there and clean and do a great job. And this is why we have nothing but 5-star reviews. Nothing but. And we tell the customer, put whatever you guys want on there. Feel free. And they do. And they leave a review, and we don't tell them what to say. We don't tell them what to put on. We just give them the link. And whether they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. 1 out of 10 is going to leave you a review. 1 out of 10. And if you're doing better than that, then great. Then your company will start to grow. But a customer is going to look at all that. They're going to look at what people are saying. They're going to search your company. And if you think that big corporations, Fortune 500 companies like Target, FedEx, UPS, Costco, these big corporations are not looking at your social media, oh, they are. They're looking at everything that you do. I have had big corporations come to me, pull me in the office, and say, great job. This is how we found you. And we're like, oh, thank you. He said, you're doing good work out there. And I was surprised because I was expecting the worst. But in fact, I even asked them, I said, do you mind if I can show me doing this? And he says, no, have at it. Have a great time. Just don't do this, this, and this. Okay. That's why you're able to see us have big accounts out there and show these big accounts and show us working, because we have permission to do it. Top G Solar Cleaning says, have you seen commercial accounts take vendors with S equipment? Yeah, we have. And they have called and said, that guy quit. If you don't have equipment to clean 5,000 solar panels, 10,000 solar panels, why would you take it on? Why would you go out there and try to do that if you don't have the necessary equipment to do it? You are setting yourself up for failure before you even start. And I'm going to tell you something. Commercial, they don't care. Commercial wants the best price, and they want to make sure that you're going to go out there and give them the best quality work. And believe me, when I tell you this, believe me, if they don't like your work, they're going to call you right back and have you do it all over again. It has not happened to us, but we've heard stories where these guys come up and they did the cleaning and it looked terrible. They called them back and they quit on them. They literally quit on them. Never came back. And then we get a phone call saying, can you guys go out there and get this done? Yes, we can. Susan wears her lucky hat.
I'm not wearing it today.
What?
I'm not wearing it today.
What's your lucky hat? Which one is that?
The one with the 4-leaf clover.
It's not a 4-leaf clover. It's a 3-leaf, isn't it?
No, I think it's 4.
It's 4? It's a 4-leaf clover? Mm-hmm. That's your lucky hat?
Mm-hmm. But I'm wearing this because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it's pink.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
David says, hi, everyone. Where is Susan? She's right here.
No, my lucky hat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the heart was right next to it. Where is Susan's lucky hat? LOL. Where is it?
I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
I'll wear your lucky hat.
Mm-mm. Only
me. only you wear your lucky hat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
David, I will have a lucky hat on the next podcast, just so you know. She's not the only one that's going to wear the lucky hat. I will have a lucky hat. I will search high. I will search low. I will find that lucky hat.
Or he'll wear his favorite football team's
No, don't. Let's not even go there. Don't even talk about my Sundays. My Sundays, I yell at the TV, and that's not a good thing. I'm clearing out. I'm venting. I'm getting a lot of this stress out. That's what I do on Sundays. And then come Monday, I'm ready to work. Bam. And I'm going to start wearing my lucky hat when I walk in and start getting more commercial accounts.
Mhm.
And you're going to wear your lucky hat too. And we're going to be the Lucky Hat Club. That's what we're going to do. No? Guys, thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate everybody hanging on for an hour and 30 minutes. We appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys don't have to come on to our podcast, but you do. You hear us talking. Sometimes we talk nonsense. Sometimes we try to give it to you. But we appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Even though, even if you comment on our YouTube videos and what have you, we appreciate that. So thank you guys for coming on. We're going to be back next week. Most likely, I will be putting out some more YouTube videos this week because we got quite a few jobs that we're doing. So we're going to be putting them out there, and you guys are going to be seeing some more videos coming out for me and Susan. So Top G Solar Cleaning says, which team do you like on football? Put it this way, Top G. I have a football helmet, and that is buried under a blanket right now. And he says, please don't say the 49ers. It is not a West Coast team.
Oh, not the Raiders.
Oh, screw the Raiders. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even say that. But we did kick the Raiders' butt. I tell you that right now. And I think all you guys know who I'm talking about. That was the only team that we kicked butt on. So, the panel man, I'm sure you know which team they were. As a matter of fact, I was in Las Vegas, right across the street, cheering them on. David says, I like your channel. You guys tell the truth and how it really is. Thank you for that. Look, we try because, we've been in this business long enough to where there's guys out here on YouTube that are telling complete bullshit, and they have this facade or just drawing up this thing to where people are going to get into this business and they're going to be very disappointed when work is not coming to them. And I'm telling you right now, come winter time, you will see me a lot more on YouTube. You will see us a lot more on YouTube, telling you guys the truth. That's what you'll see. Okay? We're not going to be sitting in a car. We're not going to be sitting at a park. We're not going to be sitting other than probably right here talking about solar panel cleaning. That's what we do. And last but not least, I'm hoping my Pittsburgh Steelers will win this week. I bet against my Steelers last week, and they lost me a lot of money. So, I can't say last week, the week before. So maybe that's what I need to do is bet against my team every single week, and we might make the playoffs. Yeah, whack. Anyways, thank you guys for coming on. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. We will be back next Tuesday. I'll put it out there for you guys. And thank you guys for coming on. We really appreciate it. And we will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the emojis. Thank you for all that. Don't forget to go out there and give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. and so forth. Oh, the panel man. So if you didn't get the call back, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we did get a call back and couldn't do it. Not in that time. Just so you know, I was trying to figure out because we had a lot of calls today, but you were the one asking for the critter guard and you needed by a certain date. Yeah, we tried, and but he was not able to do that. So, but I will. I'll get back to you on that and see if we can get you a price. Okay. All right, guys. With that being said, this is Henry, Susan. Are you gonna say bye?
Mhm.
All right. Let's say bye. Catch you guys on the next video. See you guys. Peace.